what the government has done, it has boosted more on the civil servants on the agenda 4, that is housing. But if you look at the budget, the only thing that they have tried to maintain on the same level is the steel or the bars or what we call detours. So you find as we have not gained much, there are no tax exemptions, there are no downsizing of the price on our construction materials. But on the positive side, they have also put a lot of input on the infrastructure, which will also play a very big role for us to be able to develop. Because one of the things that he does development in Kenya, construction in Kenya, in most, let's say, in affordable areas, is infrastructure, provision of services and utilities, such kind of things. So we hope once these money is rolled out, or once these projects are rolled out, they are able to transform those areas that do not have infrastructure. They've also put a lot of finances also on what you call repairing of roads, maintenance and everything. So we hope that will also translate into a positive view. But what I would say on the side of developers, we feel like we have been left out.
Right. Treasury has allocated about 13.9 billion for affordable housing projects. Then I would want to assume this is a project under the umbrella of Big Four agenda. Just how much then, and I'm sorry that then you have been this sector that has probably lost hugely. How much then does the government work in tandem with the local developers or the private developers towards realizing the Big Four agenda? Are there moments where you're contracted by the government?
I would say currently we have also a problem with the way they are handling the Big Four agenda. Because what is happening, most of the foreign contractors are the ones who are getting those jobs. So you find like the pilot project that was done, that is the one in Adriva and the one in Gara. If you check, the biggest project was given to an outsider. So what you would say, the government should start embracing even local contractors. They should make the process easy, because another challenge we face is what we call the bureaucracy in application of those tenders. So you find doing a government project for somebody who is starting up, for somebody who is a local contractor, is a big problem. But also, I would also say that what also makes it for the government to give the outsiders is because also the contractors in the Kenyan setup, they have also spelled their name. But I can say currently we have good contractors in Kenya, so the government should also give a chance to us upcoming and local contractors.
Do you suppose then there's a better way that the government would have handled this? That is to make sure that as private developers, especially at this point of COVID-19, you're able to stay afloat.
Yes, what they can do, you see, like the allocation that they've done is more than 13 billion. They can come up with ways of trying to downsize to small project portions. So let's say a local contractor can be given a project worth like 500 million to see whether they're able to deliver. If they're able to deliver, they can graduate now to a project of like 1 billion. If they're able to deliver the project of 1 billion, they can be able to graduate because if they can be able to apportion the project to many local contractors, I believe people can be able to deliver. Yes, because the only challenge is the mobilization for big projects, which in most cases Kenyans cannot be able to mobilize, and then also source of finance, because you see the government financing model, you're not given money upfront. So the process of construction, you are paid per certificate. So for a contractor to be able to mobilize funds to be able to take up a big project is also a challenge. So what they can do, they can try what you call balancing. They try to balance. They can start with small portions, like the way I see them giving the youth. They give people with disability. They are given small portions of work. All right. And it's interesting to note that the government would prefer to have foreign contractors, for that matter. Then the question would be, why is it that they take that direction? I'm sure you've probably heard a couple of times people speaking of, Barabaras are Chinese or China ni better than local contractors. Have we gotten to a level where we really cannot trust our own? Don't we have enough manpower, quality-wise, and developers that well understand the craft, that the government has to go all outsourcing for? What I would say, in most cases, we don't dispute that those outsiders do a lot of good work, but we have a challenge of the processes of getting work, like the Kenyan way. There is a lot of issues on kickbacks. There is a lot of issues on the way the tender process is done. There is a lot of issues also on the delivery of the project, because there is a lot of what you call a bureaucratic process of achieving that that process of construction. But you find these let's say the Chinese, when they come to do work here in Kenya, they have their state standards, and they also they have their states dictation rules that they are supposed to use, because for them they don't do the way as we do. So what I would say, the government is leaning towards them because they're able to deliver, they're able to give quality work. The only challenge with our Kenyan contractors is we are not able to deliver as per the standards, and then also sometimes we face a lot of handles because of those bureaucratic channels that we find when you're doing the tendering, the kickbacks and everything, and the corruption involved in the same. And then another thing is the mobilization aspect. Let's say you're given a project of more like 10 billion. For a local investor, if the government doesn't come in or you do not get a financial, it is very hard for you to mobilize for such kind of a project. Now for them, they are big companies, they can be able to come and mobilize. But what I can say, the government can start with small project and then build capacity within the local contractors, because even those foreigners, they started from somewhere. So even the government should trust their people, because even when you see them doing those projects, I would say 80% of the workforce are Kenyans.
Okay.
So, yeah, so
actually on the ground.
Yes, on the ground.
It's just they give professional advice.
Yeah, the professional advice, and then their management level is a bit well coordinated, and then also them being foreigners. Also, you see the people try to misbehave in those processes. Sometimes they fear them because of the connection that they have from their government.
All right.
But if you are Kenyan, people can they can sabotage. Yeah, we have a lot of issues.
Yeah. Well, interesting to note there. Apart from the issues of financing, I think we'd love to understand what will it take to have our contractors get to the level of standards of these foreign contractors, so that at least we can have the trust and believe in them. Where is it that then we have a gap? It's something that we'd love to understand. But first, we take a quick short break. I know it's pretty vast.
Thank you.
And then we come back, expound some more on that.
Thank you.
Precast panels. We have the best quality, durable and affordable precast panels to suit all your needs. Manufactured under a controlled environment, we have the best precast concrete panels, precast concrete floor slabs, precast concrete perimeter wall, precast concrete columns and beams. Our panels reduce construction cost by up to 40% with absolutely no plaster required, including added soundproof benefits. Convenient for story buildings, schools, offices, residential houses, hospitals, and warehouses. Take advantage of our free transport. Contact us on 0702 24 7267 or 0796 24 7267. Global Precast Panels Limited, your reliable option for efficient construction.
These are the sights and sounds of a working nation. There are no shortages to remarkable ideas. What's missing is the will to execute them.
You need to stay relevant. If you don't, you're going to fade off.
Yes, they are a dime in a dozen, but the real meat on these bones comes from trying to realize them.
You just need to perfect anything. If it's drawing, if it's music, pursue it 100% because it's something that is giving back.
Join me, Violet Njoki, as I tell you the stories of these executed ideas, because yours could be next. Mondays, 7:30 p.m.
Hey, now that's hitting the right notes. When life gets boring, we bring out our play. You see, playfulness is in our DNA. It's in the way we move and laugh. It's in the way we walk, the way we rock, and how we just don't stop. You feel me? We add color to everything, to every day and every dish, because the world needs our crazy. We're the different flavors that make life more exciting. We're the ones who add color to every moment. Fanta, color every moment.
Well, the speaker is neither here nor there.
I should have done my outro from here.
Yes, no.
And we're just like that. I look beautiful.
Tune in to Morning Cafe, Mondays to Fridays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. with me, Linda Alela, only on TV47, the home of Untold Stories. For us to have our very own local contractors, getting up to the standard of these foreign ones, that we do not have to look at the West or the East, so that we can get people who can come up and set good infrastructure, set good houses for us, because I mean, every other time you realize that we are developing. I mean, day in, day out, there are constructions that are coming up. But when you try and people's under this, who's managing this, you realize that they are foreign faces. I mean, it gets us to a point where we ask ourselves, just what is happening? I mean, we have students going to school to study these, you know, architectural, of course, courses and all that. But then we just do not have them being put to proper use. What could be the problem? How do we get a turning point on the same? An individual who's been in this sector for quite a long time, that is Gotv, who's the CEO of Pacific Realty Investment. Yes. Why is it then that we do not have our own, and you have acknowledged it, that, you know, can deliver projects that are up to standards?
What I would say also, the biggest challenge we're having, as I said, there is the process and the bureaucracy, and then the financing aspect.
Yes.
We have interacted with a few of those foreign contractors, and when you talk to them, they tell you, like, you know, when you want to get financing in their countries, the financing interest rate is very low. So they're able to get financing from their banks, in their country of origin at a very good rate. When you come back to Kenya, if you want to do a government project and you want financing from the bank, you know, they give you with the same rate that they give to everybody. So what the government needs to do is also to balance, you know, on this mega project, to be able to come up with the ways of dealing with the local contractors, giving them a chance also to, you know, to giving them a chance also to show their expertise. Because as I've told you, even if we have the investors, I mean the foreigner contractors, most of the work is done by the Kenyans. People have gone to Kenyan schools, they have gone to Kenyan polytechnics, they have gone to Kenyan universities. You know, they have all the capacity. But then again now, when it comes to those nitty-gritties, the processes, you know, how they get that tender, the financing aspect, they have an upper hand than a Kenyan contractor.
Yeah.
So another thing that the government also need to do is to try to, if let's say the way I say, the 13.9 billion can be divided into small portions, and then we see how it can be able to work, because those projects are not done in the same area. They are done in different counties and in different areas of Nairobi. So they can be able to try, you know, with small jobs, small tenders, and I know people can be able to deliver, because also Kenyans nowadays have also in the construction industry, I would say, people have become trustworthy. There was a challenge of untrustworthiness, and then also there was another challenge of what we call now overbilling. You know, people could quote a lot of money on a very small project.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it is interesting to note that there was so much excitement when President Uhuru Kenyatta was declaring, you know, some of these projects that he seeks to, you know, achieve by the time he's out of stage. And one that got very many Kenyans excited is this one on affordable housing.
Yeah, sure.
To imagine that you have to get yourself off the hook of, you know, a landlord is one thing that every Kenyan would desire. Yeah. And to have your small piece of land somewhere behind that you can put your vegetables and not have to worry about every month, you know, rental payments and all this. But the biggest question today is just how possible it is for the president to realize the same. And therefore, there have been recommendations that probably this should be looked at as a long-term project. Yeah. And I've seen different other countries, for instance, Zimbabwe, adapting these ways, you know, at the level of government. You know, they are spearheading projects that would help individuals or would help their citizens get affordable housing, for that matter. What then, in the event that this, you know, is considered to be a long-term project, even after the exit of President Uhuru Kenyatta, because reality is that they might not be able to realize so much before he's out, what adjustments would you wish that the government would do to make sure that the local contractors, to make sure that the private contractors are as well incorporated for the benefit of the common wananchi?
One of the things that I would also wish the government should do at this point is what we call public participation. Okay. Because when they come up with those ideas and the models, I've not seen what we call like the participation of the common wananchi, the participation of, you know, the common Kenya. Because like now, most of the projects that have been done, let's say the affordable housing that they have done, we have one issue of allocation. Because the project was done, you know, there were no good structures on how to allocate the Kenyans. And then another thing is the design of the houses that were being built. You find most of them, they can only fit what you call like a family of below 30. They cannot fit somebody who has a family of like 3 kids to 4 kids, because the setup and even the kind of design that they did, they never consulted the local people. They never consulted the people. So one of the things they need to do is to have what you call public participation, and then let's also let them them listen to the common developer. I mean the Kenyan developers. Let them have the ideas, package them, and then come up with something. Another thing is the location of those projects, where they're being located, because what I believe as a developer, most of the Kenyans, they don't even need the government to develop houses for them. What the Kenyan government needs to do is to provide good mortgage systems, cheap mortgage systems. They need to provide infrastructure. They need also to provide what you call utilities. We need water, we need Kenya Power, we need good road network. If Kenyans can be given that, I don't think even the government should have the stress of building houses for people, because I can assure you, between 70 to 80% of Nairobians, they own land, but you find only 10% are able to build. One, because of accessibility. Two, because of what you call the financing, where they can be able to find money to finance the project. And a big number of, like, from our research, like 30% of the people, they are not able to develop, not that they don't have the financing, but because they cannot be able to access their plot, they cannot be able to access their land, they cannot be able to get utilities in their premises. We have a lot of bureaucracy with Kenya Power. That is being one of the biggest headache that Kenyans have, because you want to do a house, you want to build a very nice house, but then again, getting power to your house is a problem. Getting water to your house is a problem. So the government should incorporate what we call views of the Kenyans. People who have been in the industry, people can be able to enlighten them, because I believe if Kenyans can be given good infrastructure, good road network, good utilities, people can do their houses. And then again, the banks also need to revise the kind of procedure that they give people to get loans. You know, the financing process is tiresome, because you find somebody who started the financing process of a construction from January, they might even end up for 1 year doing the same process. We have also another issue with the way our approvals are done, because that's also another big hindrance. People are not be able to get approvals within the set times. So we have a lot of government issues that they need to address even before going to do houses on behalf of people.
All right, and we're talking about affordable housing, and that's one thing that rings a bell to the ears of many. And I'm sure you've interacted with this numerous Kenyans who have land, would wish to set up, structures, but they don't know where to start from. As an entity as Pacific, what are some of the key, programs that are available for individuals who'd love to get themselves, units, but they probably not well financially. They have no, so much wisdom and knowledge in regards to how they get to this moment where you still can get, houses that are up to standard, but then affordable.
What we do as Pacific, once you come to office, let's say you walk into office today, first of all, you listen to your dream. Then second thing is to visit wherever you want to build, so that we can be able to advise you on quite a number of things. Then also there are like 3 types of financing model. There is what you call personal finance. In personal finance, you have an advantage. You have saved and you want to do a construction, or maybe you have part financing, part savings, and then you want to do construction. In that aspect, you can be able to advise you to do what we call like jenga pore pore. You want to achieve your dream, not within the 6 months that we set, because if I'm building a house for you and you have, the finances are ready, can be able to provide the house between 6 to 8 months. So then again, we can tell you now, whatever you have cannot be able to afford your house within this time. Can we plan it to have like 2 years, journey for that, so that you can be able to have your house. Another thing is we advise you maybe on where you bought land, because also we have a very big challenge of Kenyans buying land without even thinking of the repercussions. Where you bought land, are there infrastructure? Are there schools within that area for your kids? Will you be able to get maybe power, the utilities and water? So those are some of the things we advise you. Another thing that we do, we also take you through the process of approval, because that's another headache that every Kenyan faces. So as Pacific, we help you get the county approvals. We also help you get registered with the National Construction Authority, which is another thing that government need to look at, because we have 3 different bodies doing the same role. We have National Construction Authority. We have the county government, and then we have NEMA. We have very many bodies doing the same responsibility. So if they can be able to to join, and then have one supervision role, or one management system for the construction industry, I think things will be very easy, because you see, like now when you do the approvals, you have to take them to the National Construction Authority. Now when let's say you go to the site, you find the people from the county, they come, they inspect the work, and then also the people from the national construction, they inspect the same kind of work. So we need also the government to check on that. So we assist our customers to do that. And then again, we also assist you to know the processes, like if you want to use a SACCO or you want to use banks. We have partnered with a number of banks whereby they provide what you call construction mortgage. So they're able to give you their, their conditions, terms and conditions, the time for you to repay the loan. Those are some of the things that we help our customers. And then again, the last thing is also to make you understand your budget, because most Kenyans, when they want to build, they have what you call a big dream. So we are able to understand whether the big dream is achievable or is not achievable. So let's say you have like 5 million and you want to do like 600 bedroom house. I'll advise you, please, the 5 million cannot be able to do a 6-bedroom house. Can you start with 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom?
Okay.
So we're able to balance and advise you accordingly.
Affordability, low cost, very important, but then quality is also one thing that is a factor. And most contractors out here will just get excited because they've been given a project, but in most cases, because of trying to just struggle with the budget and trying to make sure that at least the budget is able to cater for something, would not tell you that, you know what, this money is not good enough for 6 bedrooms. You can, reduce it to 4 bedrooms. They just want to deliver something. So how then do you get to a point where you understand the aspect of affordability, but then again maintenance of quality?
What we do, like in my company in Pacific, before we start the construction, we take you through the process of what you call a checklist on the materials to be used on your project and the kind of finishes that you should expect versus your budget. So in our case, we have 3 categories of budget. We have what we call standard finishes, which comes with a normal complete house, with a traditional way of doing the stones and bricks and everything, with a final coat, with the well roofed and everything. Then we have what we call like a semi-executive. Semi-executive is whereby some of the finishes that we shall use are high head. But some of the things that are in the house, some are basic, some are standard. It's a mixture of both standard and executive. Then there are people who have good money to do what you call a premium finishes. Premium finishes also, we give you a checklist of the same, because what Kenyans need to understand, when you give a contractor work, don't just give a contractor work blindly. You need to ask those questions. What do I expect? What kind of materials are you going to use? Let it be put on paper. Get a contractor who has a team, or if you can be able to have what you call an independent consultant to guide you through. You need a BQ. A BQ stipulates the kind of materials that are going to be used in that site, the standard, the quality, the timelines and everything. So if you are well versed with those processes, you are going to get a quality job. But the only problem that we have, a few of our Kenyan contractors, they don't do what we call full disclosure, and that's where people fight a lot with the contractors. And we have a very big challenge of convincing people that we can build for them, because people have no trust with local contractors. So that's where now we need to have what we call a balancing act, and people need to get the information. Be very informed, get the right paperwork, get the right professionals, and then again, before the process starts of construction, kindly understand all the quality of work, the quality of materials, timelines and everything. Then once you are versed with those things, you can be able to ask questions. But you find people giving people work without knowing what kind of materials are going to be used on the site, what time frames they needed to expect. So those are some of the things that we need to do. So as also what we do, we involve you 100%. Like if you have checked our project, you find there are different designs, different color of shades, different kind of roofing designs, because we involve our customers 100% to be part of
right from the word go all the way. So you work together with them even during the construction process.
Even when you're choosing the tiles, when you're choosing the finishes, you have to be part of that construction. I've seen it also going to the developers. The developers also are now coming to that aspect whereby they involve the customer. Once they do the structure, they are now involving you. Let's say you pay a deposit of 30% or 40%. They incorporate you to be part of that project. Then you're able to choose the final finishes for your house, which is a plus for any person who wants to own a house.
You're huge on commercial or rental, or you do every
we do every kind of construction. Currently we do commercial, we do churches, we do go downs, we do residentials. So I would say we have done, we do every kind of construction. All right, how long have you been in business? Actively I would say for the last 8 years. But like any other business person, when you start, you don't hit the jackpot the first day. So it takes a lot of perseverance and waiting. So actively, that means that when you have a lot of project, but then again, I started like 10 years ago. But for the first 1 to 2 years, you are not able to convince people that you can be able to deliver project. The biggest selling point in construction is the delivery of project. If you deliver, I can tell you, be able to get more project, you be able to get more referrals, because construction is an industry where people want to see. It's a service industry where you don't just tell people you can build. People want to see, and that's why you find when you start, it's very hard. because somebody will come and ask you, yes, I can give you the job. Can you show me what you have done?
Yeah.
Can I talk to the person that you did the project for? So those are some of the challenges new guys in the construction phase. But once you're able to deliver the first project, you get to the next project, the third project, and people can be able to see your work there on the ground. You are able now to get a lot of work.
That's incredible. And I want to believe that as an entity, as you grow, the market as well grows.
Yeah.
Just how much has the market evolved over time, since the time that you started up until today? That one thing that keeps you knowing that, it was going to be a better ground for the people in the construction industry, even as we continue, that there are adjustments that the government is making and is doing to make sure that at least this sector is not so much so fleeced upon.
What I would say, the market has really grown. We have seen a lot of positive changes, despite the challenges that have been there, like the corona and the high cost of living. One thing is the Kenyans have started getting information on construction. Now they can be able to trust people to bid on their behalf, because what used to happen, like those early years, if you want to do a house, the first person you talk to is either your father, your mother, your brother, your uncle. So those are the people that were were supervising your mjengo, wherever you are building. So we had a lot of challenges where people are not able to complete their houses. And then again also the institution that give financing for construction, they're able also to give information to the people that they are lending the money to. It is very important to use a contractor rather than using relatives, because let's say you're working here and then you have a mjengo, let's say you're doing in Syokimau. So it is very hard for you to manage that mjengo when you're working, and then you have people on the ground. So people are also embracing what you call the construction project management, which also has come in handy, because I would say for the last 5 years, people have been able to appreciate construction project management, where people your mjengo can be managed by somebody on your behalf. So we have seen a lot of changes. Another thing is the models of construction. We have a lot of options. We have very many designs coming up, simple designs, complicated designs, and then also the materials, importation of materials and the finish and everything. So the industry has really shifted from the old ways of doing things to a modern way of doing things.
Amazing. And you spoke about this, and I was like, sometimes I just think getting into constructions, and I've done this. You are always on phone with your dad and your mom, just because they also oversaw their very own projects, and they set up something that sometimes doesn't look so good. And you constantly want to believe that they're the only people you can trust. Is it because then that there's a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of vandalism and fraud in this particular sector? And what would be your advice to individuals that you tell them, yes, get into this, make sure that you involve a contractor, make sure that you have a developer who's going with you or working with you in this? Is it such an expensive affair that most of the people will opt out?
What I would say, there was that myth that if you involve a contractor, the work will be very expensive. As I told you earlier,
let's use Kiswahili.
Initially people could do a lot of overquoting. So let's say a project is worth 2 million, somebody gives you a quote of like 3 to 4 million. And then another thing, you find the construction industry is not well regulated, because the people who do the construction, I would say the bulk of the workers, they are people, sorry to say, some are low level of education. So there is a lot of privilege. There is a lot of corruption within the system. So the reason as to why people trust their parents is because you don't mistrust your father, your mother, your uncle. But then again, they have no experience in the construction industry. So what I would tell anybody who wants to build a house, if you want to do it on your own, because you can do it on your own as well, get the right information, get the right technical team. That's the support system, because also there is an aspect of the design versus the budget. There is also the design versus the area that you have. There is the aspect of now managing the workers, because I say construction is a big train. There is a lot of cabins that you need to navigate through. Let's say you want to do the structure of the house. You involve the masons, the foreman, and the normal fundis. But then again, when it comes to roofing, you have to get a roofing expert. So what used to happen in those days, the person who started the foundation, could do everything. So you find in a case whereby tiles that were supposed to be fitted on the wall, they are fitted on the floor. Because the person who did the tiling, he has no knowledge about the tiling work. You find most of the houses, the plumbing work is protruding from outside. Currently, people are able to do what you call chasing. You hide those pipes and everything. So there are things that have changed that you need to involve, professionals that can be able to take you through. And then again, since the market is now wide, you can be able to check on the available options in construction, whereby you can be able to see the budgets. Let's say you want to do a house of 2 million. give like 4 contractors to give a quotation. Work with the contractor that you have a track record, a contractor that you can talk to former customers that you build for, that are able to deliver. Because one, somebody can give you a very low budget, then again they are not able to deliver. Somebody can give you a very high budget, they are not also able to deliver. But somebody can give you a middle, set budget, whereby they have other works that they've done, they can show you their track record, and they're able to deliver. The last thing is, when you want to do construction, never ever pay somebody 100%. Pay it in phases of construction.
Okay.
That's another thing. Yes. You need to see what your money is going to do. So if you're doing a house, mostly we do like 5 schedules, whereby you have the foundation work, we have the wiring, we have the roofing, the finishes, that is the plaster work. You need to do it in phases rather than just doing it blindly. The last thing is the quantities of materials that you get to the site, because that's where people fail. You don't need to buy things just blindly. You just say, I need a roll of sand, let's say at X amount. But then again, what quantity was delivered on the site? So you need to check on those things. You need information. There's a lot of information in the internet. So you need a lot of information for you to start a construction.
Thank you so much, Farison Gotv. He really insisted on Moravia, just because he thought I would not be able to pronounce Gotv, but all the same I have managed. Thank you so much. Asante. What will be your parting shots as we close? How do we get to get a hold of Pacific, and maybe just get to understand some of the programs that you have that would help us actually get affordable housing?
Pacific Realty Investment is a company that has been in the industry for quite some time. We have done a lot of projects. We are based in Irwai Town.
Yes.
We have a very active Facebook page, Pacific Realty Investment Limited. We also have a website, www.pri.co.ke. You can be able to find our contact. You can be able to find our direction. We're also very flexible. So for people who are working and you do want our services, you don't need to come to our office. We can come to wherever you are, because we do project all over Kenya. We have project in Kisumu, in Burarangi, everywhere. So we're able to reach you wherever you are. We have a very dedicated team that can be able to take you through. Recently, last year, we opened a subsidiary company due to the need in the market of being ready houses for sale. So currently we have sold phase 1. We are now on phase 2, which we have one unit remaining. It's called Pacific Project Limited. Our model is different from the way other people develop. We don't do off plans. We develop houses, they are ready in the market, and then we sell to you. So we don't do off plans. So we have a project, let's say project A, we develop the house to completion, and then now you purchase a ready house. So currently that's what we are doing. You're welcome to sample our services. We also do what we call site visits, whereby if you have a site, you can call us, you come and check on it. And then also we also allow our customers to come and see some of our sites ongoing in any place in this, in this Nairobi, Kiambu County, wherever you are.
Thank you so much. They will always tell you that this is quite a heavy journey, but then when you work with professionals, people who understand the game, you realize that there are so many options that would get you owning a home in the most affordable way without having to strain yourself, and eventually, you get to the point where you thank us later, because then we have had this session just so you're enlightened on the existence of a Pacific Realty Investment. Make sure that you check them out on the social media platforms, and you can as well check them out, and get to make that simple phone call that would probably be a game changer in your life. Farison Gotv, thank you so much for your time. We close it at that, and we get to that moment where we enjoy more of music. DJ Fredia, as always, is on standby. We have a cake for you from Valentine's Cake House. I don't know whether I want to give out this cake or I want to give the next set of guests that we'll be having on set. And I'm telling you, it is an incredible show. I mean, the last 1 hour will be everything. So why don't you call all your friends, tag them, share, tell them that, Watoto Kutoka Huduma are in the house. It will be nice. So let's get to hear some bit of music before we usher them in studio.
Military touch.